We're not all supposed to clap.
Hold on, let me just.
Welcome to the Dillo Den. I'm KB.
I'm Marty.
Grover.
And our
And I'm
guest
Nate.
tonight, Nate Powell,
Nate Powell.
also known as Helmet the Viking.
Nice.
Tell him who you are in the
Tell
helmet.
us,
Why is
Nate.
that his name?
Oh, tell him why your helmet.
That is my name because I had brain surgery 3 months ago, and I'm currently lacking of a skull piece right here, and so I have to wear a helmet while I do anything physical.
Nice.
You wear the helmet well, I must
And
say.
Helmet the Viking fits
You
him
really
pretty
do,
well.
yeah.
So
Well, my,
really
my
wear
wife
well.
decorated it pretty well, so
You have a pretty
Nice.
good helmet. But
All
it's, so you have the surgery in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So we're excited to have Nate here with us.
they're
before
gonna
he has
put
surgery.
they're keeping his skull alive in a fridge somewhere, and they're gonna put his own skull, back into his head bone.
yeah, it's quite wild.
I think
It's
you picked up
crazy.
some special skills along the way.
Crazy.
Oh, I think I did too.
You know, he comes in and plays poker and leaves with the money.
I know it.
But tell people why you went to the hospital. What was going on?
It was a brain bleed, and it came out of nowhere. It freaks a lot of people out because what it started with me is a headache, and the headache just turned into this insane pressure.
You just played around at disc golf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It started as nothing and ended up with me in the hospital blacking out, and then I woke up and I was told that I had brain surgery.
And
So-
his
And
dreads were gone.
if you'd have been like 30 minutes later to the hospital, you probably wouldn't be here.
Oh yeah, if I would have felt, I tried to go to sleep that night to just get rid of the headache, and I couldn't go to sleep. It would not allow me. So we went to the hospital, and when I got there, they told us that had I gone to sleep, it would have just pressed my brain against my skull, and I would have ended up with brain damage.
That's crazy.
crazy.
I'm so glad you didn't go to sleep.
Me
Okay.
too.
For those of you that don't know, he's a hell of a disc golfer.
Oh yeah.
He is.
Oh,
One of the best.
Still
out here.
is, even with a helmet.
Yeah, still
and
with the
not
helmet
part of
and
the
the-
skull.
and
Still
half
kicks
a-
our butt
half a
most of the
head.
time. But yeah, the lesson there being, if you have a headache that just keeps getting worse and won't go away, go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Might save your
100%.
life.
Absolutely.
Might save your life.
You'll know too. Trust me, 100%. You'll know when it's not a headache anymore.
Yeah. It's crazy.
All right, on to better things.
Right.
When did you start playing disc golf? Tell us about when did you play your first round? Who was it with? Start
So
there.
I started playing disc golf in 2009, but when I started, it was just me throwing a frisbee. That's all I knew about it. Was I take this frisbee and I throw it toward that basket. Then I went to the Air Force, did that for a while, and when I finally came back, I made my way to Austin and started playing disc golf again. Got really big into it. That was around 2018, and we moved out here into that year, 2019 somewhere. And then started coming out here, and I've been playing out here ever since. I've played with you guys. I was nothing, and I've watched you guys take your lines, and I'd be like, oh, okay, that's a possibility. Okay, I'm going to start trying to work on how that is supposed to happen. And from there, just kept on going, and here I am.
Nice. What was your first disc that was yours when it was just you throwing? What was it?
It was a Shark, a DX Shark. And
good one to start with.
I still have it to this day.
Nice.
It's not in my bag anymore. I had it in my bag for the longest time because I beat it up so bad that I could use this super soft turnover every single time, and so reliable.
What's your opinion of the champion group?
Oh, you and the groove.
What's the groove?
You,
Take that,
perfect.
Grover.
Nailed it.
Take that, Grover.
Nailed
What's
it.
your favorite shot?
My favorite shot?
Like type of shot. Yeah.
Flex line for sure. That's with the destroyer right now. So it's weird. I've used the destroyer for most of the time that I've been able to throw a little harder and stronger. But I recently went to Viking Discs out of Finland, and they have a disc called the Odin. Same numbers as the destroyer, and I can take it and put it on the same flex line and get to glide even more. So
Nice.
I'm using that now.
Odin. Hence, that's why we call him the Viking.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people wonder or argue about what the numbers are. You mentioned numbers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would say numbers for Innova are tricky because anything you get that's new is going to be stable right off the bat. I think there's a lot of other discs, especially with these Vikings, that the numbers are a little more true in their. Are you asking about what the numbers are?
Nah, you're doing perfect.
Well, yeah, I'd say the numbers are a little more true with the Vikings than they are with Innova. Until you beat up Innova a little bit, then you get true numbers.
So I think we're going to talk about that a little bit more later in the show, what these numbers are all about.
Cool.
Yeah. So what else is in your bag right now besides the Destroyer? What's your favorite disc to throw?
Well, it's going with those Vikings.
Oh, the Odin?
Yeah, I got the Odin, and then my favorite other than that is the Berserker, which is the only understable, well, numbers-wise, understable disc that they have in their lineup so far.
Right.
So I can take that one and put it on a nice straight line with the hyzer throw.
I've seen you throw some pretty nice up shots with the Warrior too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so get in the
He's
middle.
got he's got the sweet. You got the black one, right? With
Yeah,
the silver.
I got a black
It's
one and a
sweet disc.
swirly green one. And they're
Nice.
two different plastics, so they work a little bit differently.
Nice.
When I see him have the knife in his hand, I'm like, that's the
Oh, yeah.
The knife.
Right.
Is pretty
Let me
deadly
tell you
with
about
that,
this
too.
disc real quick. The knife is a utility putter that Viking has, and think of the tilt, but as a putter, a 4-speed putter, and that's the knife. But I'll tell you, it's not as. A lot of people don't like the tilt. I love the knife. The knife, I can take it and put it, get all kinds of groundwork out of it, and it will hyzer no matter what.
Sweet.
nice.
Awesome.
All right. What was our next topic we were going to talk about? What's new in the shop? Was that it?
Oh,
Was that
well,
next?
we're still not finished.
Oh, we're not finished. What else? We got
a
other
little
stuff.
jingle
Oh,
here.
sorry.
Find out his favorite hole on the mini course.
Oh yeah. What's your favorite place to play disc golf? What's your favorite course?
Oh, here.
Flying Armadillo.
I'm biased. I live here.
Tossing
but
up softball, so let's see what happens. Favorite hole on the mini course?
On the mini course would be the Lighthouse, just because it's the first one that I aced
Nice.
while playing it, and it's also probably the one I've aced the most.
Nice.
And that's the hole that can totally destroy your
Oh
game.
yeah.
yeah.
I don't typically run the ace during
Yeah.
strokes round, but I'll run
Took
it every
a 4 on it
time.
last Friday.
Ace run.
Still won, but I took a 4.
I've had a few snowmen on that one.
That's the most satisfying ace in disc golf because you get the ching, ka-thunk.
Yeah,
You know
it
it's
is.
in. There's no. Is that in? Nope, it's in.
Who was it a couple weeks ago? It was Tony, right? He threw the ace on the Lighthouse, didn't hit any chains or nothing, just
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I never seen it. Just went
That's
straight
tricky.
in. We were
Never
like,
seen that happen.
damn, that went in. Okay.
that was a
Damn,
good
Tony.
shot.
Shout out to Drew for
Most-
making it in the rectangle.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he
Nice.
tossed
Wow.
it up and went right in the rectangle.
That's-
Is that an ace? Like, I don't think so.
No.
It was a hell of a shot.
Got to go in the circle.
Well, I mean, it is resting at the bottom of
It
the.
is.
It is,
the
but that's
so-called
not the basket.
basket.
That's not the basket.
We gave him the
That's-
ace, actually.
The new rule though, if it goes through the basket.
But that's not the basket. The bottom of the lighthouse is not the basket.
Good stuff.
What's
Yeah,
your favorite
big
hole?
course.
Favorite hole on the big course?
On the big course, I would probably say number 5, just because most of the time I start with number 1, and you're going through the woods all technical. And number 5 is the first time you get to come out and just launch one.
Nice.
That is
Yeah.
fun. I like 5 when I'm throwing well. When I'm not, when I'm throwing poorly, I hate it like every other hole.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the name of the game there,
Yeah.
though.
5.
Who's your favorite pros to follow? Do you follow the pros at all?
So I talked to Marty about this not too long ago. I was talking to him about why Macbeth is one of my favorite pros. And it's not just because he is as good as he is, but it's because of the dedication that he put into getting as good as he has. He would do nothing but disc golf. It's just eat, drink, and sleep disc golf. Putt every day, and he put every bit of himself and his life into getting good at disc golf.
Right.
So what's new in the shop? What do you got?
What's
over
new
there?
in the shop? We
Yeah,
got
we
all
got a few
kinds of new
things.
stuff in the shop. We have mint jackalope. That's an
Yeah,
Apex
special
jackalope.
stamps.
That's the jumping jack jackalope. We also have the regular stock Apex jackalopes. Here it is. And then we got the rollerball armadillo jackalopes.
I think that stamp's way
It's a
better.
rainbow armadillo stamp. I like that one.
That is really cool.
It's a jackadillo. We have very many new Lone Star disc company out of Conroe, Texas, where the Lamberts are from, and we've met those guys. Like them, they treat us well. We like them a lot. Dun, 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 dun. The Texas Ranger,
Right.
my favorite sports team, has a disc, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's, I think, Cobra or maybe Buzz.
I used it.
To me, a little more like a Cobra.
I used it this weekend, and I was really able to rely on it for the forehand hyzer line. Just nice, straight, and then with a nice, easy little finish off to the right. I really like that.
Super
disc.
easy to throw.
Yeah.
I used it on the
You were
mini
using this
course.
Friday night, were you?
Yeah, and I barely was throwing it, and it was just awesome.
Yeah, that's nice.
I never got a chance to really rip it all the way, and I can't wait to, because I think it's going to be faster than it feels for a 5-speed. And then we got the penny putters, which are not new. We got them in Victor 1 and Victor 2 plastic. You felt those? Feel the difference in those two plastics. They're both really gummy and grippy.
Yeah, this one's a big.
Still Lone Star disc. They got the tumble and that's the Dos X.
Dos X.
8.4 -1.2. So a fairway driver. Glow armadillos, very similar to the Berg. The tumbling tumbleweed, which is a -4. There's a video on YouTube, people throwing tumbleweeds. Excuse me, that are just incredibly glidey. It turns over and just keeps going and going and going. Whole bunch of tie-dyed disc from Rosie Dyes, Tel Rosapel, and Rimo
Ryan
disc, which is Ryan
Morris.
And then new hats. Got some new hat colors in. We've had these before when we were out. First time we got black hats, and then we got
I like that black one.
for our buddy
I'm a big
Josh,
fan of the
who we
black
had to
and
bump
red.
this week. He'll be here next week. We got the Packers colors, also Oakland A's. Yeah,
Packers.
cheeseheads. And these from Black Zombie, which I'm going to turn it over to Marty. Let Marty tell you about the Black Zombie disc.
I've been waiting for us to get some of these right here. This is our shotgun. It actually came out with a really good stamp, and
Glow
this one
shotgun.
glows. Yeah, and that's what I've been bringing into the
I like
shop
that
here
stamp.
for the Dillo, some glow stuff. Yes, we do quite a
Feel
bit.
like we never. What do you call this?
Oh, I know it. That's why I'm saying glow works good for us. And then we also have their other one here. I haven't really tried a whole lot yet. It was called the Devil Hawk.
The Devil Hawk.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. and
I
it's
bet it
glow.
rolls
Yeah.
really well.
Super overstable.
Looks like it does.
It's super overstable. Okay.
What's the numbers on it?
3304.
Yeah, that's pretty overstable.
Oh, yeah.
That's-
Overpaid.
Yeah. yeah.
I would say think Berg or Harp or something like that maybe.
Okay.
That's what I used before.
I haven't thrown it. That's saying it just
The
based on the
Justice.
numbers. I don't know if it has the carry or the glide that those do. But
Why don't you talk a little bit about those numbers? I really think it'd be effective because a lot of people don't quite get it.
all right, the numbers. Let's see. Let's go through it.
There you go. This one has actually the numbers on it.
Yeah, this one
So
does
does
too.
this.
This one's
So
pretty
does
good.
this. And they're bigger.
Right.
The first number you're going to find on them is the speed, which is how fast you need to throw the disc to get its optimal flight out of it, to get what it's designed to do. And now, one thing I like to say, I think the numbers are very subjective. You got to basically throw enough to figure out what they mean to you,
Right.
because everybody throws a little bit differently. Everybody's hand size and arm speed is different. Everybody's style is different.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many different discs. Some things that I can't throw because they're turned over too quickly. Other people throw as straight as a pin. So
That's
you-
what that first number really.
but the
represents.
first number is really how much arm speed you need to put on it for it to do what it's designed to do. So 5-speed is is about the max you're going to see on mid ranges. If it's a 6 or higher, it's generally considered a fairway driver.
Right.
6 to 9 or 10. The second number is the glide,
Correct.
which is how much the disc will keep flying once it stops spinning. So that's it, and that's a very subjective number. There's most of them don't go higher than 5. There's a couple that go to 6. The river goes to 7, and the river probably lives up to that. It does keep going for a while.
Does the glide, doesn't that affect or how it affects in the wind? Does that
Yeah,
matter?
glide. You usually don't get much glide out of anything when you're
Right.
going into the wind. Into the wind, once it stops spinning, it's pretty much, yeah, I'm done.
There's been some pros who say they don't believe in glide. They
Yeah.
think it's not a real thing.
The way
They think
the way that
Well,
I
if you
interpret
throw the river, I think the river made me believe in it.
the way that I've always interpreted glide is for me it's always kind of been the fight that it has out of the turn and fade. It's the fight that it has once it's coming back out of it. So how much it'll kind of hold in between that fight. Because that's every time I've had a higher glide and everything, I can really get it to stick in that pocket for a little longer.
See, and that's what it means to him. So that's what I'm saying. Some of this is glide is definitely the most interpretive
Right.
and subjective of the numbers. The third number is turn, which should mean turn is how stable or understable a disc is. So basically, 0 is a stable disc. There's a couple that have a 1 at that number, and they're pretty much what I call meat hooks. They just, out of your hand, if you're backhanded, it's going to start going left as soon as you let go. And if you forehand it, it's going to start coming back hard right as soon as you let go. But generally, the more negative the number is on turn, like a -4 is generally the most. I think there's a couple that are -5. But the more negative the number of the turn, the more the disc will turn in the direction it's spinning.
Yep.
Which means if you're throwing a backhand, the disc is spinning left to right. So with a backhand, the disc is going to move in the direction it's turning. And with a forehand, if it's spinning this way, it's going to turn this way.
Yep.
With a big negative number. And then the last number is fade, which is how much, once the disc stops spinning, it's going to go back
Go back to the
against the
other
way
side.
it's turning.
Yep.
So if you're throwing a backhand and it's spinning this way, spinning left to right, once it stops spinning, it's going to fade back this way if it's got a big number like 3. If it's got a 1, it's going to stop spinning and go, yep, I'm right there pretty much.
No.
And again, those are all pretty subjective. You have to throw for a while and figure out what they mean to you. Some companies and some discs, the numbers are more consistent than others.
I still haven't been able to figure out Discrafts. Don't they have a 5th number?
Discraft has a 5th number, which I advise people to just completely ignore. Because it means nothing to me at all. I've looked at their flight charts and I'm like, huh?
Exactly.
And they'll say something's supposed to be stable, and I go throw it and it's flippy, and I'm like, I don't know. But Discraft has started putting the Innova numbers on them. Innova's the first one that had the flight numbers on the disc.
Yep.
So they're considered the Innova numbers. Innova's disc vary more than others because they don't have a climate-controlled facility. So some runs come out a little different than others sometimes, and a lot of people really like that about Innova.
Well, and
Because sometimes they'll accidentally do something that makes one go way further.
Yeah.
a quick thing about it too is those numbers are also subjective depending on the plastic that the
That
disc
is
is, because those numbers will definitely change depending on the plastic. Cheaper plastic, it's going to be a bit more flippy. It's not going to stay true to how stable it's supposed to be. The more premium plastic, you're really going to get your stability out of it.
And Innova tries to change the numbers on the different plastics. Some of the manufacturers will, some don't.
Yeah.
And some of them, it matters more than others. You'll see as you play the game that becomes more apparent. It's again, it's one of those things that's very subjective and means different things.
And
to
if you
different
have an
people.
opinion, leave a comment.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think.
You got something else to
Tell us
add
what
to
you
it,
think.
I'd love to hear it. 'cause
Yeah, absolutely.
I do know that after you hit rocks and trees, a lot of those numbers don't mean a damn.
That's right.
That's true.
It becomes emotional.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this disc.
Yep.
You know?
It helps it helps to have an idea what they mean though when you're trying to buy new discs that
It
you
really
haven't
does.
thrown. Because if you know, you like to play the game straight as a pin, or you like to play left to right, or you like to play right to left. However you like to play the game, you're going to want to find discs that fly in that direction for
Right.
you. So that does help a lot to give you a guide as to what new disc to try. It doesn't mean you're going to like it because the numbers sound right.
Yeah, there's been plenty of times that I've bought a disc based on numbers, went out and thrown it, and it did not fly true to the numbers, but ended up using it for what it was flying for me. So you can find
Yeah.
new discs that way too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Yeah.
That MPO out in Manor Mash last weekend was our boy Matt Barajas from Let It Fly in San Antonio.
Nice.
Also,
Oh man,
head
really?
mechanic at my shop where I
Yep.
take my car, Champions
Yep.
Auto Service, won
Nice.
the MPO out at the Manor Mash.
Yep.
Came from 3 strokes back in the final round. Shot 6 down in the final round out of Manor.
Yep.
Nice.
He did.
An
He did
MPO.
damn good.
Awesome.
Matt took it down.
And
Represents mint disc. Mint
dude.
disc.
I definitely don't want to talk about my performance. I was not happy with it. But I do want to talk about a few people that I've seen over the past 2 weeks do some amazing stuff. First one I want to talk about is our special guest over here. He got 3rd place
All right.
this weekend
Nice,
at World
dude.
War Z. Took him down.
Congratulations.
It was in the MA3 division.
Where was that?
That was at Moody's. Yeah,
Oh.
they're in Red Rock, and if
Cool
you haven't
place.
been there, I recommend
Cool
going and
place.
checking it out.
Dave's is great.
Yeah, it's a nice place, and it's a great place to camp out too. And,
Cool guy
and,
too.
The person who won the event there for the MA1, which is the big amateurs out there, was the person who we had last week, Joe Wells.
Joe Wells.
Joe
Joe,
took
get
it
it,
down.
Joe.
Yeah, he had a good shooting. And then the final person that I want to talk about is I've been seeing quite a few players lately. They're not shooting their rated round, or however they're just not having a good round, and so they end up not finishing the round, just like completely give up and walk away. Well, I've seen somebody in the past 2-3 tournaments that hasn't been shooting like they normally do, but finishing, actually playing the game the way they're supposed to and not getting upset very much, and that shows some humility to me, you know. And that would be our producer over here, Trevor Williamson. And this dude
gee.
over here, he moved up to open, and yeah, he not quite there yet to take home all that money, but he's actually
Shot lights up.
Doing it right.
Yeah, he's
Doing
doing
it
right.
right.
He's gonna
Taking
get
his
there.
licks.
Yeah, he's gonna get there.
It happens. It's a different game.
Pretty sure that's the story of every great
Right.
person
Yeah.
who's played.
Most of the pros took their licks on their
Yeah.
first time through the tour.
Yeah.
There's
Oh, yeah.
a few 16, 17-year-old phenoms.
and boy howdy, I've seen Trevor play. He can throw a
Yeah,
disc.
yeah, me too.
I still say the 16 and 17-year-olds, it's like, yeah, they're good, but wait till they get a life.
yeah.
You know, it's
I've
when
said
you're
the same
16 or
thing.
17, there's nothing going on. You don't have a mortgage, you know, you
Right.
don't have, you know, more than likely you don't have a woman who's really bothering you. You might have a girlfriend, but a high school girlfriend is not the same thing as a live-in girlfriend or being married.
Right.
You know, you don't have there's just a whole world that they're just out there playing disc golf, having a great time. So yeah, let's see if they can put the mental game together when they're 25 and they have bills to pay.
Starting to hit real life.
Well, we're rolling into the summertime. It's hot as hell out here.
Super hot.
Hot
super
as hell.
hot.
We should
Texas
talk
is-
about. We got to wrap it up. I think that's what the signal was from the producer there.
Yeah.
We're getting long-winded here. We want to talk about the Dillo Den is where we're at, out back of the
Right.
Flying Armadillo. This is the chess tables.
Yes, sir.
There's more on the other side. You can play checkers as well. There's pieces and stuff you can check out from the pro shop. We got a giant bocce ball court over here. You can also check out the bocce balls.
Yes.
That's
what
a
else?
good time.
That's
Just
fun
stay.
time.
Out here.
Bring earplugs at night.
Yes. Bring earplugs.
We have there's fans under here, so we keep it cool. There's lights out here, so we can play bocce ball at night.
Electricity.
Friday night round. Friday night
We do our
lights.
Friday night
on the
lights.
Small course. It's a
which-
good time.
I've won 2 weeks in a row. I don't think I've ever won 2 weeks in a row
boy.
before.
Well, it's because all the big players have been going off in
Whatever.
Yeah, just wait till I get my surgery,
You
KB.
can only play who's here. You can only beat who's here. You know?
Right.
Beat me.
I shot a 39 and a 40.
There you
I
go.
shot a 40 last week with a 4 on the lighthouse hole. So.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, that was a good. That's a good one. Good one. Next week we have Josh the Marine.
Yep, Marine.
Josh the Marine will be here
Yes.
with us, and a cheesehead
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, he's a
So-
cheesehead.
Josh.
And we don't
Yeah.
hold it against him. He's still a good shit, even besides all that. Anything else we need to add?
Yeah, I
We
wanna
covered
say
enough ground? Okay.
Nate's gonna have his surgery here on the 19th.
Yeah.
Correct.
And if
Thoughts
you
and
want
prayers.
yeah, thoughts and prayers for sure. But if you want to help out a little bit, donate a little money or something, do you have a Venmo or anything they can send it to?
I do have.
I mean,
a
you cool with
Venmo.
that?
Yeah, I mean that's all right.
Put it as a flyer
Yeah, it's,
across the
you
bottom.
would have to put it because it's
Read right here
it's chicken
across the
broodle
bottom.
soup,
It's gonna-
Yeah, it'll
but
be
it's spelled
somewhere
really
there.
weird. So
Maybe up here.
Speaking
So
of
look
which,
right here.
Probably
I
right
want
here.
to make sure that we say like and subscribe this.
Yes,
channel,
like and
guys.
subscribe us.
Yes, please, please, please. The more people we can get, the more
Oh, yeah.
episodes we'll be able to put out.
And leave us comments.
Yes, so we
Tell
know
us
what
what
to
you
add.
think.
Hey,
Yes.
what do people want to see?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys want to see? What would you like to hear
Yeah.
us talk about? You know,
Sorry,
whether or
be
not
quiet.
you think we're ugly, which side you think is best on me, whatever you got.
I've been a little quiet because I got a lot of chains last week. You know, and I didn't want to bust out a bunch of chains this week.
Grover.
There's
You know,
no
my best
change.
behavior, and I really don't know how to act when I'm not cussing, man.
Good stuff.
Kind of crazy.
All right,
That's about
anything
it.
else?
Yeah, actually, I did just find out during the tournament. We're having a tournament out here next month. It's
We got
the
a few
Flying
next
Zodiac. Yeah, I didn't know about that one. Yeah, did you? It's called
No.
the Flying Zodiac. It's hosted by Luke Humphreys. It's gonna be out here.
Luke
Huh.
Humphreys?
Yeah, I mean not Humphreys, Magnardi. I'm
I was
sorry.
about to
Okay.
say,
It's a
man,
Bagnardi
I'll be
party.
here.
Magnardi.
It's a Bagnardi party.
Yeah,
That'll be all right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh okay. I
Well,
didn't even know that event
that's
was
how
set up.
Bagnardi joints usually go, man. It's a
Right,
little
right,
loose.
Right. Yeah.
Well, right on.
All right, well, I think that does it from the Dillo Den here this time. I'm KB.
I'm Marty.
Grover.
Our
Nate.
special guest, Nate Powell. Thanks for
moved.
watching. If you stuck all the way to the end,
Yeah.
you're
Thank
probably
you.
related to one of us.
See y'all.
Come back next time.
Bye, Mom.